Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Any Key. I am your host, Drekken, and I am joined here with Joshua.
How's it
Hey, how
going,
you doing,
guys?
Josh?
Ooh,
I'm doing good.
such a ghastly name, Josh. Ooh,
And Strygwire. Come
close.
here. We're getting close every time. I
A
hope.
little bit.
Sometimes I hope if I say it fast enough, I can like slur the ending part, so it doesn't sound like I don't know how to say it. So that didn't work out. Um. So how you guys doing? Ready for some esports?
Let's do
We're
it.
on we're episode 35. Whew.
Damn.
Oh my.
Can you imagine
35.
35? I know. 35 episodes. Here we are. Um, I'm
Doing
getting
good. I'm
yeah.
excited for esports happenings. We have a lot of good news today. I don't know if we can reveal it, but we do have lots of news, I think.
We
I think.
do. I think we have a decent amount of news, and I'm
I just
just
don't know when
excited.
we can talk about things. These deadlines and red ribbons and it's difficult
Uh,
sometimes.
yeah. We can maybe talk about things. Not no, we can't. Not yet. Um,
Mm.
yeah. You gotta hold it on your chest for a bit. Right now, I guess I'd like to give you guys if you guys you know what, I forgot the very intro. So this is the show, the Aniki. If you don't know by now, this is the show where we talk about esports culture and happenings that's going on in the industry. Um, we have a lot of fun, and today I have a glass of wine, so this will be probably very fun.
Shh. Not allowed to say that on stream.
Sure, we are. It's not
We
like
are?
I'm not promoting it.
Somebody get Twitch in here. Twitch.
It's not like I'm promoting alcoholism and telling children to run out into the streets, grab
Aren't you
yourself
though?
a
I mean, anybody that knows you.
no more so than Reddit. I feel like Reddit and I are in the same boat in terms of how we promote drinking, safe and responsible.
That sounds like Reddit. Stay safe and
uh,
responsible.
yeah, Reddit fights for the greater good, don't they?
Of course.
Reddit's on the side of the people. I guess not. Okay. I was gonna bring it into what was like the Church of Reddit. Let's start celebrating. Okay, so let's jump right into the show. First thing I want to tell you guys, we've been working on an update for our website. It's looking pretty sharp. I don't know if Del can pull that up. Maybe he can. We'll see. If you're on listening to us via audio, you can't hear it, but we've gone for a cleaner, simpler design. Mainly focusing on the events coming up and what's happening. The only thing you'll see on there is EGLX and then our mystery thing that's happening. And if you can't see it, don't worry about it. You'll hear about it soon enough. Skirt over that and move to the major topics. And let's start this. Machinima brings more esports to television. So, more or less, what's happening is Machinima has gone and done it again. Oh, wow. Rip. I just read it. Machinima has gone and done it again and is bringing us another one of their series, but this time for Mortal Kombat. If anyone remembers Chasing the Cup was I want to say it was a documentary that followed League of Legends players behind the scenes for them doing the LCS. This time it's the same thing, but it's following Mortal Kombat players, which, if I have to say, may not be as actually it could be more interesting. I don't know if it. I'm going to be on the fence about this. Um, as interesting or sort of interesting as League of Legends players. I already feel like I know how this is going to end with Sonic Fox winning, but who knows? Maybe it's a surprise.
Upsets.
Upsets, unlikely, but I think really the interesting thing I have always felt that television isn't the final frontier, but everyone else seems to think that's not the case, and everyone's trying to get their, use it for a little
To,
bit of distribution.
to
So
offer a third option. Perhaps it's another frontier, just that we're accomplishing more, not everything, but more. So it's not
everything
the
but more.
It's instead of saying it's the final frontier, like saying once we've accomplished television, then that's it. Like we
We're done
Gucci.
with
Step
it. We're free.
It's more like today was a good day.
Yep.
You know, there's still more, but like it was a good day. You know, we did good things.
That's a good way to
We
put
made it to television. It's not a bad thing. It's not the end all be all, but it's not a bad thing.
I guess we can look at it like that. I don't know.
I
Maybe.
can see it from that perspective, but I think
All
we
right.
need to be on television, and people just need to see it. Be,
You think
it's
so?
on TV.
Uh,
Like
I
it's no big deal. Get whatever on TV.
I'm surprised though. I thought you would have been kind of person that's like, if you can't do it well, you don't do it at all.
I mean, that's where I agree. Like I don't. If I had money, I would not be putting it towards television, but that's just me. I think like
And
enough people are doing it now. Either I'm not seeing something, or people just want to do it for the sake of doing it. So let them do it. But
I
yeah, I
think
don't.
it's to be honest, I actually am I'm more leaning towards this model where it's not necessarily a straight up tournament, but it's more like reality television, documentary style
Sure.
content, right? I lean to that and I like this. I think this is a solid approach.
Yeah.
So I do like the fact that they're bringing it. I'm not sure about how I feel about CW. I don't know, how that, like, I don't know. I didn't particularly like Arrow or the Flash, but that's all the thing I know them for. Others may think differently. I feel like it just put it on a backwater channel, but I don't know. This is it could be a good step. It could be a good step. Anybody's thoughts
I
on
don't know.
that?
I think any more exposure, any additional platforms where people can consume esports is not a bad thing in and of itself, but I can totally see how like moving to a platform which is old and has standards and
Mm,
like systems of ways of doing things could be detrimental to the content that's being put on it. Like when Heroes of the Storm was on TV, we really experienced as an industry how like trying to conform to TV can really mess with your design. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily always the case. Like
I don't know. I
Yeah, it's
feel
just
like,
not
well,
how
this
it's done.
this conforms though to television design though. This is,
Yeah, that's fine.
this is a documentary. What I'm interested in is why, like, there's so many parties involved. So there's CW, there's Machinima. Who else is in this? Who's up in this? Machinima, CW. I think they said Sony. Sony? Is Sony up in this too? Who's all doing this too?
Oh.
Um. Oh, Warner Brothers, obviously, because it's
Oh.
their game.
Yep.
So we got three partners all pushing this through. I don't know. Would you like to see this for other games, or is this? How do you feel?
I think it's just good exposure in general for the industry. The more I think about it,
Mortal
it's not
Kombat.
like
Though.
turning.
This is Mortal Kombat. This is
Yeah, I know. Like the game they chose is like meh, but
there's
the
someone from
idea, the
Toronto. There's somebody
concept,
from Toronto in here. That's interesting. So we have. I'll read off the players. It follows 5 top-ranked players for the fighting game: Carl White, Perfect Legend; Toledo, Ohio. Brothers Timothy. Oh, he's from Toledo, Ohio. Meh. Brothers Timothy Commodore, Honeybee, and Matthew Commodore, Biohazard from Toronto. So we have 2 Toronto players. Brant McSkill, Pigs of the Hut, from Atlanta, Georgia. And returning champion Dominique McQueen, Sonic Fox from Townsend, Delaware. So 5 players following them around. It's gonna start November 1st, 2015. Wait, nope. Second season was November 1st, 2015, and it is gonna take place in the ESL studios. Interesting. So I guess this is actually gonna air after this tournament. Like, I guess the tournament is already done, and now they're putting together the
Yeah.
footage because this is following that tournament. So I thought originally it was following leading up to a tournament that was happening, but it's doing the opposite. It's
well,
documenting
I
a
mean,
tournament that's
I'm
already happened.
I'm sure there's going to be plenty of footage that's from leading up to the tournament.
Well, that's it. It is doing footage leading up to a tournament, but I thought it was going to be a tournament that you would have to watch. So you'd watch it, and then it reaches and it's like, okay, the series is done. To find out how it ends, watch the tournament, because that's how you find out. But that's not what's happening. This is
I don't know. I feel like those are really difficult to produce because you have to get everything edited and like produced and cut and all that kind of stuff before the tournament goes. And if you're like taking footage leading up to it, like that can be really tricky on timing of everything and like release timing and stuff like that. So that's
yeah, I
that'd
agree.
be
Like
really
it's
that'd be
probably very
difficult to do.
expensive. Probably very expensive to put something like that together, I imagine.
And if you
But
spoke to like talented video editors, they'd probably say impossible. But
no, I'm sure if you have enough, you have enough video editors put them together, it scales, right? You put
yeah,
10 video editors, you get it down to 10 seconds to edit. Um,
uh,
Maybe double it by putting 20.
I'm not a video editor, so I'm not going to speak on behalf of video editors. But I have a strong feeling that asking anybody to take footage leading up to an event and then compile and produce the film to be ready before the actual event that you're leading up to is a bit challenging from a video editing standpoint. I might be wrong. Nonetheless, on the topic of whether or not this is good being aired on TV as a content piece for esports, I mean
Would you watch it?
if I liked Street Fighter, I would.
Mortal
they-
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Or sorry, Mortal Kombat. I guess that does pose a quick, confusing question. Why did they not do this for Street Fighter instead?
Well,
Anyway,
it's probably
that
because
aside,
Mortal Kombat was willing to spend money for it.
yeah, it could just be also something really about like the tournament and stuff like that, or maybe the participants. Either way, would I watch it if I liked Mortal Kombat? I'm sure I would watch it. Will I watch it? No. I have watched things similar for Dota and other games.
Of course, you have.
And they've been interesting. They've never been on TV though. I'll say that much. So I mean that's
Well, Dota technically has been on TV, but not documentary style.
Dota's been on ESPN like 2 or 3, but that's not TV really. I mean,
Give it some time.
yeah, I don't know. Dota is also a really difficult game to put on TV. I think from a logistical standpoint.
Everything.
Either way.
Dota is always difficult. It's always
Well,
the
I mean,
hardest.
let me put it this way: it's like Heroes of the Storm was difficult to get on TV. I'm just extrapolating from there. Anyway, would I watch it? I probably won't watch it. Honestly speaking, it's not. It's like. It's like barely an esport, so I wouldn't like. It's Mortal Kombat. It's not even like Street Fighter. If it was Street Fighter, I might be more inclined, but Mortal Kombat is not interesting regardless of whether or not it's on TV. So I have a hard time getting behind that. But I mean, it's good. Like people are doing things in esports. It's nice, I guess. I don't see what the big deal is, honestly. Like it's on TV. It's not even a new accomplishment. It's not even like anything that's like earth-breaking, ground-shattering, or anything like that. It's just like a Mortal Kombat like documentary.
Joshua,
Okay.
would you watch it on TV? Would you watch it?
The more I think about this, the more I like it because it's not. I mean, if it was a tournament on television, like I guess we kind of already discussed this, where the issues come about just from the logistical standpoint of like structuring it to like, the 10-minute window, 10 minutes commercial, 10 minutes commercials, or whatever the TV standard is. But
Is it really
if I
10 minutes? Holy
that's not 10 minutes. I'm
Oh,
exaggerating. But no, like considering it's a documentary, I think it's cool. It'd be interesting to see on there. That being said, if there was some way for me to watch it that didn't involve me having a TV subscription, yeah, I'd watch it just because like it's kind of interesting.
I'm sure there
It's
will
nice.
be.
Nice to see what's out there. Yeah, no, like I'm not gonna go out of my way to go find like a torrent for it, but if there's a YouTube link, if it's like floating around online, yeah, I'll give it a watch.
I'm sure
That's
there
kind of
will.
where I stand for it. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch it. So
I'm not gonna go out
That's
of
where
your
I
way to
stand.
watch it on TV. You mean you'll like watch it if you can get your hands on it in like some more convenient way than TV. But
yeah, exactly. Like for the most part, I've watched most of the kind of esports documentaries that come out. It's always good just to kind of get a little taste of what the industry's like or what that specific game's like. And that's it. Kind of just get a taste, I think.
Just a little
I
bit
don't-
of a tip.
So that's where me and I guess Joshua disagree, is I don't feel like this is worth tasting. It's not really representative of the industry or anything like that. It's a very
Not
like small corner thing.
Yeah, but it's the same reason like you would watch like a random like how it's made video or like a stupid Vice doc. You know, it's just like a very niche small thing. Just get a little taste for what it is, see what it's about. I don't think it like summarizes esports as an
Don't you
industry.
have to be like interested in that already though in order to,
No, I'm
you know
just
what I
saying
mean?
like I would be interested to learn for whatever for however long it
So
is.
can we say
What's
something
something
like
about?
I want to know, Josh, are we is that his official short form now? Josh Ooh? Josh Ooh?
I mean, I will answer to any name you come up with. Sure.
Really,
Ooh.
the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
Sugar cakes.
I was gonna say honeycomb blueberry or something like that. Oh, I don't know. But
Mm.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm in mixed feelings. I like behind the scenes stories. I I feel a little bit of hypocritical because I've been an advocate of additional content for esports for a while. Maybe I'm a bit salty that it's not games I like,
Forget
which is
about
always
like for games that are important. It's not games that you like. It's like
He likes the
I
important
guess
ones.
because I feel the same way. I'd be like, yeah, it's great that esports is getting documentaries, but like, why this?
Well, we all
That's
know the answer. We all know the answer is just because Warner Brothers is like, it's our game. We're spending money. So, but you know what? Let's give credit where credit's due. Like shout outs to Warner Brothers
eh?
for and NetherRealm and them for spending money on their game. Right? You have Nintendo who couldn't be bothered. Uh,
Oh, it's not couldn't be bothered. They it's a conscious decision. They're like, we don't want esports. It's not that like couldn't be bothered is one thing. Like that's just a matter of showing them the value. This is the opposite. Like they've been told, they've been presented. They're just like, no, we actually don't want this. Like you
Could
guys
you
can like
imagine? It's like
you
you
guys can
force sports on top of them. They're like,
you guys can screw up. Like this isn't like you make it sound like Dragons Den where they go up to them and like you pitch these guys your idea and like Nintendo is Dragons Den in this scenario and they turned it down. They were like, we don't like this, as opposed to the other scenario where it's like they couldn't be bothered. You haven't even presented anything to them. Like
I don't know. I feel like Nintendo, and we'll turn this like I don't want to turn this into a Nintendo rant because it could easily become that. I don't know. I feel like Nintendo could have done something like this with Smash, and people would have lost their minds, like on
oh yeah,
television.
Yep.
I
Like
would have
it
been
would
much
easy
more.
peasy. And there's
But
been
they've
some really nice Smash documentaries out there. I admittedly have not watched them because some of them are really long, and definitely not formatted for television. But it seems weird that you have the people who have the games that are not necessary, and I guess it makes sense because you have the games that are not necessarily quote unquote esports level. Make their publishers are working the hardest to try to make it that, and the games that are esports level, their publishers are like, whatever,
But they've had this hands-off
I don't
approach
know.
for so long, right? Like it would be out of character for them to like turn around and say like, "Oh, we're making Smash documentary now." Like that would be super weird coming from Nintendo.
Is it though? Like I feel like it's you have the
If
reverse
anything,
effect where you
it's
have
yeah.
Blizzard who was like, oh, they paid attention, but they fucked it up, right? And the Blizzard was like, because the Blizzard was approach was the same thing originally. You
Yeah.
had Korea running off with esports, and they're like, oh, this thing is not a thing. Like we don't
Yep.
really think about it, and then it blew up, and then Blizzard's like, oh. Come back
Easy.
here. Come back here. Easy, easy, easy.
Rein it in,
That's
rein it in. Like,
that's our game, right? And they
let's
But
took it. They took the golden goose and strangled it, trying to get an egg out of it.
squeezed it too hard.
you
Squeeze
go.
that goose.
yeah,
you
but
you have the Blizzard
Nintendo
approach.
Nintendo's primary market is not esports, right? Like they're catering to the family.
Okay, I don't
That
think
seems to be their
I think
direction.
it's-
I think
I
that's
think
where they've
such
decided
that's
their
such
money
a
is.
weird scenario, and I heard
Yeah,
that
let me.
scenario. I heard
Okay,
that
but like everybody
it's like
says that, but at the same time, you really think that Dota is Valve's primary market? Like, come on.
like esports. It doesn't matter if it's someone's primary market. It's a marketing play. It's when you see a game that is in everyone's peripheral vision, you want to play it because everyone's playing that game. Like it's I don't know. It seems to me when someone says that, and I've heard that line, and it makes me my brain hurt when someone, and not necessarily from you, Josh, when other people are like,
Yeah.
well, esports is a niche market, and that's not their primary market. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, you
It's
think
not the
League of
niche.
Legends?
That's just what they. That's the stance
Did,
they choose to take, right?
did you
They
think?
don't
Yeah,
want to be
like,
they don't want to be associated with esports because that might hurt their family market,
but that's
right? If
like,
if they're supporting a Smash tournament and like something happens where there's just even banter that they do not approve of, and then a mother says, "That's it. My kid's not playing Smash Brothers. My kid's not playing Super Mario Bros. My kid's not having a DS." Right?
do you
Like,
think? Okay, do you think that's really not a little extreme though? Like, I feel
I
that's
mean,
a
I'm
very
not saying that is the reason. I'm saying it could be a reason. I'm saying it
okay.
like
I
it's a
get that, and
possibility.
I think that is legitimate. Like, someone probably legitimately says some sort of nonsense like that. But do you feel that that's like a legit experience, and a parent would be like, "Oh my God, that
Yes.
guy, you know, said
You not met white
told
parents?
that." You know what? I haven't. I do not have those kind of parents,
Oh my god.
and I can only imagine that maybe you're right. People have always seemed to surprise me before with weird nonsense. So,
Yep.
perhaps this is what you're saying is true, and you have a weird scenario where uh, they are just going to parents would go freak out, and Nintendo's super hypersensitive for it. But I don't know. When I look at a game like League of Legends, who embraced their esports like full
But
balls deep, it brought market to them, right? Because they were like, we're gonna focus on esports. We're not gonna try to capture the cup. Like, League of Legends could have made a single player mode. They could have done that. They could have been like, okay, we're gonna try to capture the casual audience and made a single player mode. Nope, they
okay,
did
but we're
not.
talking about a company that's used friend codes because it was too too much to give people your fucking name. For how long were they using friend codes? And each game had its own friend. Like they're just backwards in the way they do things, right? So
I
like,
can't handle this. This is gonna become, and this is exactly what I was worried about. This is gonna become a Nintendo attack, and I almost like I
yeah,
could go off.
yeah, let's move on. But
I could
like,
go on to Nintendo for days. Okay, so here we got a little bit of conspiracy theory going on with this next article. So I think Clan Phase. I think that's how they pronounce. Like, it's considered. It's Phase Clan. My bad. Like, well, first of all, before we start anything, do people still have clans, or is that just the tag? Like, I didn't realize clans were okay. So I didn't
plans are
think
still a thing though.
clans are not a thing anymore. We evolved from clans decades
Hmm?
ago.
Okay.
Clans are not a thing. Like, only in StarCraft do people still have clans. Even that's
Mm,
Okay.
a, do people
yeah. Yeah, no,
I'm
people
not.
still have CS:GO clans. It's a small timey thing. Like, it just means like a group of
to me, a
people that
clan is like the progenitor to a team. Like, if you have a clan, you're just that means you're just a shitty team. Like, you're just
Yeah.
not there yet.
Yeah.
Now, back in the day, actually, you know what? I think MMOs still have clans. I actually should be more specific.
Are those not
'Cause I
That's
think
guilds?
what I mean.
MMO,
They still exist as like gatherings of groups, but they're not
yeah,
anything. They're not
yeah,
they're
they're
not
okay.
big or
Okay, I
like
should be more
important.
specific. In like competitive tournaments, I don't think clans are a thing, but in
They
MMOs, I'm sure.
they they
Anyway.
exist to an extent.
Okay,
I
so
don't know.
anyways, FaZe Clan was acquired by G2 Esports. I love that we're in this world that we can get acquired, that things get acquired. These are CS:GO teams, and the price tag for $700,000 for this clan. So when
It's not a clan. I mean, they're called
I
Face
know,
Clan,
I'm gonna call it a
but
clan
they're a
because
team.
Yeah, they're a team. We should call them.
for
Anyway,
for
moving
this
on.
brand, this
Yes.
brand was purchased for $700,000. There's a bit of like I said, controversy because it gets a little complicated because G2 Esports has somebody who sits on ESL, and he also owns some other Dojo Madness that he used to leverage to make the price tag higher. If they didn't, they would get banned. Like, it's really odd. And this is obviously reported by Richard Lewis, the man
Naturally.
who brings us every conspiracy theory that you could think of.
I
Uh,
want to know who you choked to get it.
so edgy. The deal included 300,000 up front, with another 400,000 to be paid out in two installments. I don't even know how that works. You can send it to him in bonds. According to the sources close to the segment, this is blitzes any previous buyout, which is we're sitting at 700,000. So this makes them the most expensive CS:GO team in
Uh,
the community.
I think it makes them the most expensive sale because most teams haven't been sold.
Well,
Yeah.
price tag of
That's-
0 is price tag of 0.
Well, no, just because they haven't been sold doesn't mean they're not worth more.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying. It's like
No,
it's the
I
most,
agree.
it's the largest exchange, but it's not for long. Is all I'm saying. Like
Well,
at some
until
point, somebody will buy a CS:GO team that isn't Faze, and you can bet your ass it's gonna be more than
you think it's
700,000.
gonna be more than. I guess Phase isn't like a nip or a
Yeah,
Navi.
no. If somebody bought like Navi CS:GO, it would be more for sure.
Okay. So
That's all I'm
got a
saying.
got a little controversy. I think one of the things I really want to think about is should we like I feel like should I maybe I should have started a team. Like I didn't realize teams were so inflated. Like these are some seems like the cash cow when you figure it. I think the fastest way to make a lot of money in esports is to start a team. The fastest way to lose a lot of money in esports is to start a team. So I can't see. I don't know what the.
I mean, last
I know what
episode we
you're
were
doing.
talking about this, and I was saying like the biggest thing this year in esports is gonna be brands, which is in
Mm.
esports synonymous for teams. Like I see that entirely. Yes, you're right. They're becoming more and more valuable. They're probably like some of the most valuable assets in this industry. If we take a look at it today, like if we look at the distribution of where the money is, like how much is ESL worth as an organization, like on a pie chart, how much are all the organizations in esports worth, and how
So
much are the
actually, I have a
teams
quick
all worth?
correction.
Like,
Hold on. So I have a quick correction. So I got that backwards. It was actually FaZe Clan was acquired by G2 Esports, which makes sense now when I said
yeah.
the guy was on G2 Esports.
Is that not what you
Uh,
said? I thought
I
you said.
thought so, but I think I was corrected. Some said I had said it backwards. So just in case,
Yeah, I thought that it was the Faze, which is like a pretty popular brand in Call of Duty or Halo. I can't remember which one. Call of Duty. They bought a CS:GO team, as far as I understand it.
wait. So that my question is, did they buy both? Is this like
No,
FaZe just sold off their CS:GO port, or is this like
no, Faze didn't have a CS:GO part. They just bought one. They
oh,
bought
so they
2E.
bought G2
Yeah,
Esports to be their
yeah,
CS:GO. Okay, I got this.
good.
I think it's interesting that we're doing this now. That you just acquire. You're like, oh, we don't
Buy
have a
it.
CS:GO team. Just buy one. Just don't have a Dota team. Just buy that one. Uh, I think that's when I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna own myself a team. I'm gonna own a team and just like
Not a
that's
terrible.
gonna be my retire my rich man's playground. Is just gonna own a team for my enjoyment. That's it. Like I can't see. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I heard it's a lot of stress, but like
Yeah,
anything,
that's pretty stressful.
I think that depends on the players that you get. If they're really whiny, then yeah, it's a lot of stress.
aren't
think it's
all
easy to
players a
screw up.
little bit? What a team?
Yeah.
I think it's the upfront costs of salaries that really kills you. That's it. Period.
Yeah.
Like the salaries, but that's kind of getting expected now. Before you could start a team, and you tell them, "Look, I'll pay you in gear," and you get away with it.
No.
Now you can't say that kind of nonsense to anybody. Like
you really can't.
And like in specific games, I think that really, if you were to start a team, I really think the best option you have, choose a game like a mid-range esports game, and like dominate it because it'll be cheap because you won't have to spend too much money on people, and
Yeah,
then
but also
buy
you're not gonna
another
get
team.
any return. Oh, well, I
Oh,
guess.
yeah, okay, but you have to like, for example, like maybe not StarCraft, but what's a good mid-range esports that you could probably get into right now?
Smash.
Smash, you could probably get away with Smash. You could get away with a Smash team, like
I imagine you just throw peanuts at players and they'll join.
like pigeons. Like
I was thinking more like monkeys, but yeah, pigeons work.
you could start a Smash team. What other kind of team could you start? You could
Like
maybe
that,
a Smite. You could
I
probably
would
get a
bet
Smite team. You might get.
I would bet my entire purse and this cup of coffee that most Smash players on teams don't have salaries.
I think you're right. I believe that the top 10%, like not even 10%, 4% of
Like-
Smash players.
Maybe like top 10 have salaries. Maybe. And that's just because other people on the same organizations have salaries. It'd be like, I could already see like Alliance being like, well, the Dota team gets paid every month. Why don't I? Like, you know what I mean?
You know what? I have to agree with Skillamaru. I think that Call of Duty probably is a good mid range. You could
Yeah,
get
absolutely.
Halo,
Yeah.
Call of
Call of
Duty.
Duty was really inflated right now.
Mm.
You think
Well,
so?
it's got that Activision dollars, of course it is.
Yeah, it has that Mountain Dew and what's that other
That
Dorito dollars. So
Dorito dollars.
I don't know. That would be one I'd stay away from. But
I wouldn't stay away from it. If anything, that's easy pickings. If anything,
I could see going for
the ones where the publisher's throwing tons of money at it and there's not much
those are
competition are the
easy,
best.
those are easy monies. Those are
Those
easy
are
monies.
easy. Those, you just collect those dollars. If you're an organizer, like a team owner type of individual, then yeah, absolutely. Pick up a Call of Duty team. Can't cost much. Pick up some easy bucks. Local tournaments, organizer dollars, for sure.
Well, these are all online, like the Call of Duty and the Halo tournaments, those championships, they're all online until like the finals. Honestly, those are probably
think
the
about
best.
think about the Cineplex dollars.
Oh my God, those are so easy. Those easy peasy dollars. Oh
Easy
my
Cineplex
goodness.
dollars.
Whew. Oh, 50K, 50K for nothing.
No problem.
Easy peasy, beautiful cover girl, man. You just walk in there, walk out. 50K.
Easy breezy beautiful. That's it.
That's it. So I don't know. I think that raising, getting a team to 7K. Like I think that's the best way to get into a big game right now. You have to dominate a
mean,
mid-range game.
Let me put it this way: mid-range teams in League of Legends are like double that. They're like 1.5 million. So it's like when somebody's like, "Yeah, this team was sold for $700,000 in CS:GO," I'm like, "Okay, so we don't sell that many teams in CS:GO. People are holding on to their brands. Like, what a surprise!"
I think that if I was to go for a team, I would start off that way because it feels kind of esoteric now. If you want to get yourself a high level team, or if you want to raise a high level team, like I don't know if you could even start, right?
Mm, you could. It just takes more to get into it now than it did before.
Yeah, very,
Like
that's true.
there's more capital investment up front now than there was previously for a high level team. That's of course that being the
Yeah, if you
the
want to
good
start
part.
off in a high level team, it takes a lot more. If you want to go up to like
Yeah,
a League of
like if
Legends
you
team,
want yeah if
you
you
couldn't
wanted
start
to
a
be a
League of Legends
challenger
team from
right now,
scratch. You couldn't start a League of Legends team from scratch. You'd buy into that shit.
and then some like you wouldn't just have to you'd have to like buy this like because don't forget they're leasing out those spots now, so you own a team in League of Legends, you got to pay rent, buddy. Like you got costs to maintain.
I mean,
Can you even get in there though? Because isn't there only a certain amount of teams can be in those spots, like Challenger
Yeah.
and
Well, that's what I
Okay.
mean. Beyond acquiring the team, you got to pay that lease.
you
It's
you
not-
have to, right? There's no other way.
There's no other way. Even if you have the team that's good, you gotta pay the lease for the spot. Otherwise, you can't compete.
No, they pay you a stipend though, don't they?
Who pays you a stipend?
Riot. If you want to be if you're an LCS challenger, it doesn't cost you. It shouldn't cost you money to be in stipend, like to be in.
No.
Like you get.
Uh.
There's probably like a smaller, not prize pool, but like a smaller stipend for being in challenge. I don't follow the League of Legends scene too closely, but I'm gonna have to guess that there's no way it could cost you money to be a part of the League of Legends scene in terms of the challenger.
I don't think so.
Isn't that what we said that they changed? They're changing it. They changed it to like a lease-based system where they own all the spots and then they lease them out.
Oh,
I thought wasn't that the teams that were selling their spots?
that was the team selling their spots. That was like
Yeah, and Riot took control of them.
yeah, but I don't think
But
like
that was the point, right? Like
I think Riot at the end of the day, at the end of the day was like, nope, I don't think we like that. We don't want her. That's not how we want our game
represented.
represented. So I don't know. We'll see. Moving on to the next topic. Boop, 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 boop. I changed screens. FaceIt, everybody's favorite in-house team. I mean, favorite in-house league. Raises 15 million. Mm.
So it's about time, I guess.
Mm.
Well, I mean, they've been around long enough. They've been doing things. I don't know if I'd call them everybody's favorite in-house league, but
Well, aren't they really the only?
no. There have been others. IXDL.
Yeah, but that evolved. Like, FaceIt pretty much scooped that up where he's like, nope,
No,
not anymore because of FaceIt's operating.
that's not what happened to IXDL. But nonetheless, you're right that they're kind of like the only one right now because most of the games just have it built in these days. It's like, why would you know what I mean? It's the most of the games have organic ways of or native ways of running those what would be the equivalent of in-houses. Like IXDL for Dota died when MMR was introduced into the system.
Into IDXL or
No, when MMR was introduced into Dota.
oh.
So like once there was a way of tracking your performance and such in game, there was like, okay, well we don't need this anymore. So same thing kind of is the case for FaceIt, but like CS:GO has other leagues like ESCA and CEVO. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not, and FaceIt isn't the premium in-house league for CS:GO. So that's what I'm trying to say.
I have mixed feelings about FaceIt. I've heard FaceIt is good. People are like, I swear by it. They're like, FaceIt is the best
I've
thing
never
since
heard
sliced
that.
bread.
Not once. I'm gonna put that out there. Nobody has ever told me like FaceIt's the shit, dude. You should play there. I've been like, the only time I've ever played on FaceIt when I wanted to play with friends who are like, my MMR isn't high enough to play with them, or their MMR isn't high enough to play with me, or like my CS:GO rank is too far out of theirs, so we just go to FaceIt because they don't account for any kind of disparity in skill. They're just like, yeah, you can do whatever you want on FaceIt. So it's like, okay.
Okay, I guess maybe I haven't heard mixed feelings. I guess that's the other side of the coin where people say it's like a scam, it's terrible.
I look at FaceIt very differently. I stopped looking at it as an in-house league because despite what they try and sell it as, nobody really
Seems
uses it for
inactive.
that.
It seems
It's very inactive. Whereas I look at it more for what people do use it as, and that's a tournament organization platform. They have a really great system for creating and running tournaments. Like they run a lot of brackets for different tournaments in Dota. They run a lot of brackets for different stuff in CS:GO, and that seems to be mostly where they get their mileage, and they're good at it. So there's no reason to. So as long as I look at FaceIt from that product, even though I know it's not their marketed product, as long as I look at it that way, it has value. If I start looking at it as an
So
in-house league,
you mean for like it's qualifiers for other major
yeah,
tournaments? Is that what you're
yeah,
talking?
it's as well. It's just a platform for
It's
running
okay, but
running a tournament.
can anybody do that? I feel like it's
Yeah,
closed.
anybody can do that. Nope, anybody can
What?
do that. They'll really give more mileage for big events, right? Like they'll customize pages and stuff like that. But you could go on FaceIt right now, sign up, just like make an account and open a tournament for anybody to register.
Interesting, because I was reading the press release and it's saying gaming platform services for tournament organizers. I was like, what?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
What
And
services?
technically anybody can be an organizer. Technically, you just
Can
as
you
long
run
as you-
Can you run a league on FaceIt? Can you be like, this is my monthly like?
I don't know how effective it is specifically at leagues. I've never tried, but I presume so. Yes, I would. Even if you have to split it up, like copy your tournament every month, maybe. I just what I'm getting at is I don't know how well they file things as like a recurring tournament. But yeah, I presume you can.
Must be a way
yes.
to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that there's an option there. It's it's like any other. I think about it like any other bracket management website, whether it's challenge or tournament. Just FaceIt has a bit more integration for the specific games because if you're running a CS:GO tournament, for example, to have you link your CS:GO account, like your Steam account, with FaceIt, so it bridges that barrier much better than most other platforms because like tournament or challenge or binary beast or whatever it's called don't have like a Steam link option for people to link their Steam accounts. Just but I mean obviously FaceIt operates for other games as well. League of Legends, I know they operate, and some other stuff. So but that's one way that I look at FaceIt. That's like I can see the value in this.
I'd never known that service until you mentioned it. I honestly hadn't even thought of it.
Yep, you can create your own tournaments, run them on there. They do this for major tournaments as well. Like I said, with major tournaments, it's done much nicer than you or I could for sure, just because it's big business for them.
Well, it's probably like a white label solution where they a little bit of money changes hands.
It's not white label so much as it is FaceIt label solution. But yes, because you get what I'm saying though. Like money changes hands and like sure it's got FaceIt all over it, and they never fail to mention that they're running the bracket for this or that. Or most of the time, what they run is the open qualifier, not the bracket. Sorry, I should correct myself.
IXDL. Is that still running? Do people still do that?
Barely. Yes, like it exists and it's operational, but nobody really uses it. Everybody just plays ladder and Dota.
That's unfortunate. For
I don't think it's unfortunate.
I think that, but I think the concept of in-house league is very valuable. I don't know. I'm a big fan of the in-house league model where you get the opportunity to play on a team with professionals, and I think like isn't that what FaceIt was kind of their shtick?
Yeah, they
you
they
know,
tried that for a little bit, but it didn't really work. Like where it was like, if okay, play enough matches, like, or basically like what they did is they had like a FaceIt Pro League and they had like a FaceIt Open League, and if you did really well
I've
in the
not heard
FaceIt
anything
Open
about
League,
either of those things.
and if you do really well in the FaceIt Open League, then they'll bump you up to the Pro League where you play with pros.
Yeah,
Which is
that's
like,
been. I haven't heard anything about that for a
just
while.
like, yeah, okay, there's other mediums of playing with pros than this, but like for example in Dota, if your MMR is high enough, you just get queued up with pros. Like
Okay, so
they're
let's.
they're all
How do
playing there, so
how do we think this 15 million will affect FaceIt?
and
Let's turn this back
it
to like an industry business thing.
so to me it really matters what they spend it on. If they spend it on trying to build their open like in-house leagues, then I think it's wasted, basically. If
I
they
don't think
try
there's
and
any. I don't think there's another space for a challenge. Like I feel like the tournament thing is like I don't think that's scalable.
Why not?
I think it is.
I don't
There,
think it's $15 million worth, but I think it's scalable.
No,
I mean,
I think it could be
you,
fine, yeah.
you mean how many lining up dream hacks and the Dota majors and stuff like that? Like, I don't think that's a sustainable business for the long term. Do you? Do you think that's
Oh, well, we need someone, right? Like
I don't know.
that's
I think it could be if they make it into a white label solution like you suggested, where it's a real premium service that tournaments run by like ESL, Valve, potentially even Riot. I don't know how good their current system is, but like it's a system that somebody could really capitalize on and create a website that services those needs.
yeah.
you don't think
That's
like
something organizers don't want
challenge
to
and
worry about, right? Like if
you don't
you
think like
just you know
challenge
it's going
and
to do it.
binary beat, but we have like challenge binary beat. Well, not binary beats, but
Yeah,
it's
you say
there.
we have those, but like
Yeah.
imagine the possibilities.
With 15
Like
million dollars worth.
there's limitations, yeah. And even servers and stuff like that aren't cheap, right? So just to better their infrastructure, I could totally see that money going to good use.
How much? Okay, but there's only when you do
$15 million denotes a return on investment, though. At the end of the day, you got to sell something.
I'm gonna say though,
And upgrading your servers doesn't sell anything.
No, but building a better infrastructure totally would.
for what though? This is brackets we're running, not freaking
It's not.
data
But that's the
farm.
But
thing.
it's their whole
not
it's
just,
their whole.
I'm thinking of it not as just brackets. You're not just selling like a bracket management service. You're selling like tournament services, like
Okay, so
run-
this is where we need to get the distinction because when I think of it, I think of like bracket management because I'm like, okay, what's the value add? Because technically, challenge tournament, all these people can create me a bracket. Sure, it's not the fancy. It's not the
so
fancy.
if I worked for FaceIt, right, and I was pitching this to somebody because I needed to allocate 15 million somehow, what I would say is first start with the features that they have that the other ones don't. People have to connect and verify their Steam accounts to use FaceIt. No other bracket management service does that for you, and that eliminates a lot
true.
of headaches
True.
to
Okay.
start off.
That's for
Second of all,
that's for 2 games that applies to.
you could do it for the other ones though. Like I'm sure that there's a way to work with Riot to link your League of Legends
That's true.
profile.
Yep,
like
okay. I agree.
there's got to be
That's one
ways for
issue.
the other games. That would be one selling feature. And if you're going to spend $15 million on something, well, that's a start. Start using that money to get the other publishers on board with the services that you're planning on offering. Considering they want to be major esports, give people a platform to run esports on. Anyway, as one angle. The other thing that I would say is, sure, we have challenge and all those, but like at the end of the day, none of those run very well. Like we've, as an organization, even we have run into challenges with all of those platforms in terms of lack of customizability or appearance,
Ease of
like
use.
yeah, ease of use, like user friendliness, like
That
like
tournament
in
hate,
terms
I can
of
hear it in his voice.
not well maybe, but either way its existence denotes that somebody needs to improve upon this this market. And I would say, like, honestly, develop a white label solution. Like right now, all the open qualifiers that FaceIt runs are all FaceIt branded. Like they're getting publicity from them. That's about it. Um, Make it a true white label solution where if ESL wants to use your service, it's just a paid service where the whole tournament is still ESL, but you just make their lives easier. Maybe they can
has their
fire.
own shit. No,
Yeah,
they're not gonna-
then maybe they can fire whoever they have doing it right now and start
They can
using
do it
you.
for cheap.
Make it more affordable.
Yeah, if they can do it for
Right?
cheaper, right? Like
That's
if it's
the
cheaper
point.
to pay someone else to do it, then like why would you not? And like if they're
Exactly.
trustworthy and having 15 million in the bank is something you can really leverage.
that
Yeah.
money's gonna burn through quick.
Better
But
start
even like
spending
Tamir said,
on-
right? Like if you go into Blizzard, you're going to Valve, you're going to Riot, you're getting
Yeah.
so that your whole service is validated. I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna need to have something to show for, right? And having that money and being able to build your brand better is definitely what's gonna help, and then that'll help them become like you guys are saying, that white label solution.
And if you're working with Blizzard and Valve and Riot, then guess what? You've already got quite a bit of work secured for yourself already. Like, why would they not use you, right? Like that's what you spend your 15 million on making sure that you are the go-to for these people. But I obviously you're changing the core business of FaceIt, but I'm only saying that because I believe that the core business of FaceIt needs changing. I don't believe that they're gonna. I don't believe that they're gonna.
You don't think they're gonna survive?
There's no way.
Yeah, okay.
Like
enough.
15 million or not, the proof of like, if you treat everything that they've done so far as proof of concept, I'd say they failed.
But they've run bigger tournaments, right? So like
Yes, they have, and that's one thing that they've succeeded in. Whereas running an in-house league is something that they haven't really succeeded in. Like, it just didn't stick. Like people were like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm gonna go back to like the official ranked ladder as opposed to playing on this. And for CS:GO, even when they didn't go back to the official ranked ladder, they went to other outlets, ESEA primarily for CS:GO, as opposed to playing on the FaceIt League because it's just not that good. Like,
So yeah, they opened up. They've opened up an LA office. So what I've seen, and I think you might be right, to me, that might be the way they're gonna go, as according to this particular quote. So more games, more organizers, and better competition. Which is, if you take it out of context, they're focusing on adding more games to that platform.
maybe they even
more
just
organizers?
start. Yeah, maybe they even
And
just start
talent.
running more of their own tournaments. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know if that's
like,
a good idea.
why to showcase their services? Why would it not be a good idea?
Okay.
I'm not saying they have to do it by themselves and maybe partner with somebody, but I'm just saying showcase what they do, and it's a lost leader, right? It's like, here, look, we can.
What
do,
about
let's-
being?
we
What
can
do you think about adding? What do you think about being the leaderboards, or like for other games, for games that not necessarily have their own leaderboards or whatever it is, like maybe
Yeah. Any game
Brawlhalla.
that's well, I mean, you could, but like I don't think that there's any return on investment in that.
are you talking about
Well-
like having like a ranking system?
Yeah, like
He's
for example, if
talking
you've-
about being the ladder for games that don't have a ladder. Like that's
for like Brawlhalla or for like the mid-tier esport titles, right?
I don't see how you monetize on that necessarily.
The
but
publisher
maybe.
pays for it, not like it's not.
that's
Yeah.
a handful of contracts at best.
That might be like intelligence you license or
Eh.
buy from them,
It's
but
like,
I don't see like
you could do it. I like, sure, I guess it's like, but again, I just don't see how that's a profitable business that people who invested 15 million in are gonna be like, wow, this was a great investment. It's like, okay,
Let's jump into our last topic of the day, the discussion. So, I'm not. So I'm going to be honest. I'm not 100% sure how this is going to fly, but we'll see. We'll see how this topic goes. What country do you, myself, and the third host believe is on top of esports, and why?
is there any answer?
I'm going to
Okay.
give it Bear first.
Sure.
I'm inclined to say China. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because I mean they've just been throwing money at it like it's nobody's business. And I don't know. I mean, eventually, if you throw enough money, it's gonna stick. I mean, I think some of the money's been kind of spent poorly.
I wonder how many people have said that.
Like a lot of the money's been spent poorly, but I mean, even like League of Legends, they've been paying crap tons of money for streamers to come to China, move to China to play on China teams. They've been putting up big dollars for tournaments. I mean, a lot of them run poorly, but like if you have the money to spend, I like eventually you will fix yourself. They've
That's
showed
an
that
interesting concept.
they've showed that there's a bottomless pit, right? So eventually I think they can reach a point where they're one of the leaders in the industry. So I think maybe the fastest growing. I don't know if they're necessarily the leader right now, but definitely one of the fastest growing.
I guess okay. So okay, let's go with that. Tamir.
I'm gonna say hands down China. Like if you're into esports and you want happenings, China is the place to be. I mean, the exception of perhaps CS:GO, I don't see how there's any competition really.
I don't know.
Like dollars to donuts, China has many more donuts than anybody else.
You wouldn't even say CIS?
No,
No?
no, no, no,
Uh-uh.
not even close. Like, no, there's so many more people. Like, let me put it to you this way: Eternal Envy streams in North America. He gets 17,000 viewers. He goes to China, turns on Haomao or whatever for the first time ever. Creates an account, turns it on. 240,000 viewers.
What?
First day streaming. Once.
No. That must
Yep.
be a bot. There's no way you can.
Nope.
That's what?
That's okay. So let me put it this way: Sylar, top tier Chinese player, streams in China regularly. That's 170,000, 200,000 is not uncommon for
This
viewership numbers.
Some fucking tournaments can't even get that high.
Nope,
What?
nope, not even some tournaments. Like it's not even close. It's not even close. Dollars and people and industry, it's not even close. Like there's full tournaments that happen in China that we never hear of, where the level of competition is higher than international tournaments that we like get excited over, and we never even hear about them. They just happen in China. Like the CDEC in-house league in China is like they produce like so many TI teams and like TI players that like it like eclipses North America like tenfold.
This is gonna be a short. This is gonna be a short
like,
discussion.
There's nothing like tier 2, tier 3 Chinese players for pretty much every game that they try is like insane. It's not.
I didn't realize there was such a big disparity.
Huge. It's enormous. Like viewership numbers, dollars, tournaments, like it's participation. It's not even close.
So okay, so this makes for an interesting discussion, and almost one-sided because what I was going to bring up is, and I don't know if Delk, if you can post it. There's a infographic that discusses where esports will be. So you guys are actually right.
Wow.
Shocking. Actually, this time you guys are right.
You're right that
Yes.
China is indeed in the lead
I'd
for
say by a
audience
huge-
growth
I'd say by a huge margin too.
by a large. Yeah, it's actually, where is it?
They
So
have to be like 50% ahead of anybody else. I bet.
44%, I think, is
Oh,
That's it?
I haven't even seen this infographic.
like
where
it looks
is
like
this?
Asia Pacific. So I'm assuming that also includes China.
That-
So
As
Asia
in, that's
Pacific.
not Southeast Asia, I believe.
No,
basically is what
that's
they're
not.
saying.
Yeah,
Right.
so Asia
Yeah.
Pacific is 44%.
Yeah.
This is obviously some third-party people who are doing it. So Asia Pacific consists of 44% of audience growth in 2016, followed by EU.
Yep.
And then
EU as a country? What?
No, EU.
We
said
is
country.
not a country.
No, but we said country. Okay.
Asia Pacific is not a country either.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm kind of confused here. Okay.
No, we're gonna go back. Basically, China.
We're doing
is
regions.
Asia.
Asia
Basically,
Pacific is
China.
basically
Basically,
China.
China is basically Asian Pacific. Like I don't
Okay.
know what else is considered. Like Japan, maybe I don't know what's considered in
Yeah.
the Taiwan and the rest of them, or is that Southeast Asia?
No,
Either way, doesn't
actually
matter.
Taiwan, yeah, is, but either way, they're not like a huge number on this meter.
Doesn't matter. Either way, 44% encompasses everything.
It's huge.
25% is EU, followed by I think NAM,
CIS,
which is in I think it's North America.
or CISEU as well.
CIS might be EU. I'm not. I'd have to. Okay, so a CIS is considered EU, and then North America is 19%, and then the rest of the world is 12%.
Yep.
What is interesting is where the most of the money isn't China.
Oh.
It's actually North America in terms of revenue
What?
growth. Hold on, in revenue growth. So not necessarily
Is that
like
dollars or percents?
Let me skim that.
Because I could see revenue growth as a percentage being big in North America, because going from very little to a medium amount is like a lot of growth, but like going from a lot to a little bit lot more is like not that much growth. So it's a number.
So China and China and South Korea would generate $106 million in 2016, or 23% of global esports revenue. So they encompass 23% of the total revenue growth. But it says U.S. leads esports revenue. So that, if I was to skim very quickly, and I'll be say skim because I didn't get to read this particular thing. 106 million. Yeah, it still looks like U.S. is or at least North America, in terms of sheer money being put into it.
Oh, money being
much
put
is-
into it.
Or
Oh.
generating. So I don't know how you would compensate what growth in revenue is, that people investing in the space or the actual money generated from people buying.
Like, you mean
I
generated?
would
Nonsense.
assume that revenue being money earned, like when you're
It has to
filling
be,
out
yeah,
your
it probably has money.
taxes,
It has to be,
just
yeah,
be
you're
like,
right.
how much money did you make this year? It'd be like, this is how much money we made this year. That's
I'm
that's
gonna
rev-
take a little guess that it's how much person per spend dollars. Maybe they don't spend a lot of money in China for.
Well, I would think that
Just
they
watch.
spend a lot of money in China. I
Do
think
they?
it's. I think it's.
I would think that spending $100 in China is far less common than spending $100 in North America, because of the fact that it's China and everything is cheaper for the
Okay,
most.
so there were 112 major esports events in 2015, and they generated an estimated 2.6 million in ticket revenues. The total prize money of all esports events held in 2015 reached 61.1 million, a 70% year-on-year increase. Advertising went up 99%. That's really boring. I don't think anyone really cares about that. Who really cares about advertising? Subscription is in there. That went up
I think
naturally.
advertising is actually one of the most important, but whatever.
Oh, okay.
That just tells you how much people are spending on that. Like,
So that could also
Yeah.
be considered revenue. Like that could be, from advertising revenue. So 2016, North America will strengthen its lead in terms of revenue with an anticipated 175 million generated through merchandise, event tickets, sponsorships, online advertising, and media rights.
okay, so here's what I can say, like, because I don't know the ticket prices and stuff for other games. At least for Dota, buying a ticket to participate or to watch a tournament in China is cheaper than it is in North America. They charge less. So like $1 million spent in China on ticket revenue goes a lot farther than $1 million spent in North America on ticket revenue.
So what's
But
also considered? Hold on. What else isn't considered revenue is publisher money too. I just want to point that out.
oh,
So this more money invested into esports economy than is directly recouped by their esports. Oh, sorry. A significant part of these revenues flows back to the game publisher. Oh, never mind. That just shows the money goes back to them and their investments. So you're saying that tickets from China is less, or they spend less in China for tickets, but they still
Yeah,
sell a
exactly.
volume.
yes, you sell more tickets, but they cost less. Which all I'm really trying to say is that it's not like a 1-to-1, like, you know what I mean. Even like let's say you sell a U.S. ticket for $30 and you sell a Canadian ticket for $30. Which one's worth more? Like, that's, you know, it's like that. That's basically what I'm getting at. Like,
You know what I like about this specifically, though, is that we're in a situation where companies that normally just collect data on probably all sorts of random stuff are now collecting data on esports. I think that's really good. All right, that's
Yep.
complete side.
it is
Yeah.
pretty good. No, I agree.
Interesting.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. Final thoughts, people. Tamir, final thoughts on Machinima bringing stuff to TV?
I mean, like, whatever. It's not like I'll be excited when like big things happen, like CS:GO majors are on TV. Like that'll be cool because it means that more people can watch it and more people will stumble upon it, and it's good exposure. But like, this is kind of like, okay, only the people who like really wanted this anyway are gonna go out of their way to watch it, and they probably won't even do it on TV. I mean, it's a niche documentary. Like end of the day, it's not. It's like the MKX crowd is not that big, unfortunately. Like say what you will.
This is going to pave the way for more these kind of shows.
I don't know. I'm honestly like it's. I usually measure things by how I find out about them, and I wouldn't have found out about this unless you had brought it up like on this show. Honestly, it's not.
Joshua, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it's like this like big ordeal. I think it's something people will just kind of flip into their channels, will see and be like, ooh, this looks cool, watch it. It's good exposure. It's a cute idea.
That's cute.
It's cute. Like, yeah, I'll give her a watch, but that's about it.
Let her in.
Maybe if it's like easily accessible, you'll give it a watch.
Yeah, no, like you have to make it easy for me to watch.
I feel like CW is one of those things you have to pay for.
If it's Warner Brothers, there's no way I'm watching that in any way that's reasonable. So.
Okay. Well,
can't stand Warner Brothers.
So I actually think this is great paving the way for other esports to do the same thing. It would be
It's not even the first
on television. In terms of documentaries, I think it's one of the first, isn't it?
Not that I know of.
I don't think it's.
Oh wait, no. There was a fighting game documentary on television. I take that back. On G4. So I guess this is like the second. I don't remember what the name of the documentary was, but I'm sure Doug will. Oh, there it is. Rise of the Esports Hero, and then that one. I don't think anyone got to watch that. This was on freaking Global. Anyways, yeah, it's a good move in terms of for Mortal Kombat. I think from a publisher perspective, they probably really love this stuff. I like Machinima. I'm a big fan of their studio. I think it also shows a good sign of what Machinima is becoming. They're less becoming a YouTube company and more like a distribution company, which is exciting from if you think of it from a new media perspective. All right, final thoughts on Faze getting bought up. Wait, no. Faze buying up
G2.
Faze buying up G2. G2.
You know what? If I was more heavily invested in the CS:GO esports particularly, I might have more to say about this. But I don't really know much about Faze as an organization or how they treat their players or branding or anything like that. So I can't really say. It's nice to see though that more organizations are trying to get into CS:GO and like looking into that game, because I feel like it's got a big market that's really like underdeveloped as a big time esport. It's gotten really good viewership, but it's still like it still is playing a bit of catch up, I feel, with like the League of Legends and Dota in terms of like prize pool and stuff, and I don't think that there's any good reason for it to be behind. I think that it should be right up at the forefront. So it's good to see that kind of happening a bit more with organizations paying big money to get involved.
What about yourself, Joshua?
Yeah, kind of what Tamir said. Like I don't really know much about Faze, but just seeing that kind of money float around is kind of interesting.
Money changes hands.
Yeah. I mean, with money you can do almost anything. So let's see what happens.
Interesting.
Put on your epitaph, and it's like money.
Almost
money.
anything.
Almost anything.
It's like a gravestone thing. So.
My thoughts on it is I don't know. I like the idea of companies being bought. I don't like how esports teams are becoming esoteric in terms of it. Only you got to spend big to get in it, but.
We're getting to that point.
I say that's just the nature of where we're going. It just makes me sad because I can't. The further my esports dreams of owning a team becomes, but it's fine. I just have to make those big dollars so I can just buy whatever team I want.
Oh.
That's it, right? You just have to adjust. So,
Mhm.
final thoughts on FaceIt getting that 15 million, Josh.
I don't know if I would evaluate what they could do at 15 million. I definitely think they're worth some amount of million.
Josh is the
15.
underwriter. He's gonna decide what FaceIt's worth.
No, no, and I don't think I could like give you a figure or anything reasonable. 50 million seems like a lot. Like that's almost just like a little too much for me.
It's like
But
Josh leaning over and just like, no, you overpaid. Should have spent.
obviously, like obviously they have something going for them, right? Like they, but like I don't know if they like said to the investors, oh, we want to be the Starbucks of esports, and then oh they're all right, take our money, take our money.
That's where yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Josh. Sorry.
There's obviously
Rip.
Oh,
oh, there's definitely things that they.
hmm,
Mm.
hmm.
My gun.
Yep, pretty much.
Rip. Rip Kingston Internet.
Yep.
So final thoughts to me here while Josh gets his together.
Well, honestly, I firmly believe that FaceIt wasn't worth a $15 million investment. But it really does depend, honestly, on their business plan. If the business plan was to be an in-house league, then I don't believe it was worth 15 million. I could see people investing in like a tournament solutions platform that is like super legit for 15 million. If that's the business plan, I get behind it, honestly. Like I think that somebody needs to take over that industry and just dominate the market for everything, for World of Tanks, for Blizzard games, for Volvo games, like all these games, like they all run publisher leagues, they all run third-party leagues, they all need these things. Like someone's got to do it. Like FaceIt can be that someone. I just don't know if they plan to be or not.
I feel like they do it. Okay, you're right. Okay.
If they do plan on doing it, then that's great. Like yeah, with 15 million could be well spent. If they don't, if they're just like, you know what, we didn't have 15 million before, now we do, we can be that in-house league now. 15 million is what's gonna get people interested in our in-house league. I'm gonna be like,
I feel
I
like
don't think so.
I actually feel like 15 million isn't enough to pursue all these avenues at once. I don't.
That's why I'm saying not. It's not pursue both. I'm saying it should be just the one.
Josh, are you back?
I think I'm back.
I can
You're
hear
here
him.
verbally,
Yeah.
but physically,
Uh,
you're like a ghost or a spirit.
Yeah.
just to finish my point is I think that they had a lot. They have a lot of the basics to do big things. Like they showed proof that they could run bigger tournaments, that they could do brackets, that they could run leagues. It's kind of like it'd be interesting to see where they decide to put that 50 million towards and what they choose to specialize in, because I don't think that they necessarily can start off being the jack of all trades, but maybe master or find their niche and where their need is, but they definitely have potential. So
Okay, cool. So let's wrap it up, guys. Joshua, where can they find you on the interwebs?
everywhere at Joshua.
Can you imagine before we couldn't
Everywhere.
find him? I know before we couldn't find him.
I
Can't
know.
even find him.
He
He's
was
a reformed
he,
man.
he had different accounts where he was hiding under some aliases and
Yep.
you know
This is the account I don't want the government to see. This is the account I don't want my employer to see. This is the account I don't want my mom to see. Well, look at him now.
now he's everywhere. Fully
Everywhere.
embraced the Joshua and
That's it. Fully embraced the Joshua.
finally free. Set him free. Tamir, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at StrygWyrd. That's STRYGWYRD, or as shown on stream.
You can find me. I guess I didn't know if there was
Yes,
more.
that would be next.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreksama, DREKKSAMA, where you can follow my esports happenings here and again. So, guys, that was another episode of the Any Key. We're here every week, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. I wish I could give you a preview. I really want to have like a preview of what we'll have next week, but we'll pretend that
You'll have to wait till next week.
you'll have to wait till next week. It'll be a surprise, and hopefully we'll have a special announcement by that time. You heard
Hopefully.
it here.
Oh my.
You know, the Aniki exclusives just keep coming. So guys, join us next time. Until then, keep looking for the Aniki.